Oh, so we back in the business. We back in business. Y'all already know what it is. This is Pass the Torch. We outside. Like I said, right now, we in South Jamaica, Queens, baby.
Southside, baby.
Word up. And right now, I got with me one of the greatest directors of all time. Ask anybody in this hip-hop game, from Trick Daddy to Foxy Brown to any one of them. They can tell you, man. I'm with the legendary Zodiac Fishgrease. What up, baby?
What up, what up, what up?
What's going on, man?
The Jubilator, the greatest rapper, say that, and the crowd exterminator.
You could be the baddest rapper, and I'll make you the worst.
Remember, Mikey D's the one that disrespected you first.
Facts. You already know what it is, man. Yo, what's been up, man?
Well, let me just tell you, man, it's great to see you with this microphone. You know, thank you for the big ups, but, you know, Mike, I'm going to just be real, man. Man, you an icon and a legend, brother. You know what I'm saying? Back in them days, I salute you, Mikey D. What you been sober now for about 10 years? 10 years, man. 10 years, and that's hard to do, man. I'm taking it back to, I'm 51, but I take it back to when I was like 13, 14 years old, when me, Mikey D, Lotto, TC. Speaking of TC, I just hung up the phone from him. Shout out to he's out there in Florida. Him, my cousin Reed, Shay, Howard, they all kicking it. But back in the days when me, Mikey D, TC, Lotto, I'm going back to like 1984, man, walking from Park Jams all the way from South Side. We outside, going past Lincoln Park, Baisley Park, 40 Park, all the way to Rochdale, to freaking what is it, Roy Wilkins, all the way up to 231. We walked everywhere, man. You know what I'm saying? And you know, back in the days when Mikey D, man, had it's your draws.
Yo, the Tila Rock.
The Tila Rock joint, legendary. It was legendary. Yeah, when Mike was just smoking everybody on the mic, you know what I'm saying? We were just young kids and we were just walking everywhere. Car, what you mean a car? Shit, we walked from South Ozone to freaking Hollis if we had to.
We was on feet. Yo, tell the people about some of the projects that you were a part of, man, because I don't think they understand. And wait, before we go there, how'd you get the name Zodiac Fishgrease? I love this story. They need to know.
Well, to make a long story short, because it's a long story, I got the name Zodiac in Chicago. You know, like my mama, you know, shout out to my mother, Jacqueline Poindexter, and, you know, she's from Chicago, and she would bring me and my brother, God bless the dead, Pooh, she would bring us to Chicago every year. You know, my sister wasn't, I don't even think she was born yet. And back in like 1983, back in the Beak Street days, and, you know, we went to Chicago 1983, 1984, and I'm a little kid, I'm breakdancing, and my mother took me to the south side of Chicago, and there was a crew out there called the Zodiac Rockers, breakdance days. Well, anyway, to make a long story short, they had a battle with some breakdancers, and they brought me as a secret weapon because I came with that New York 1983 Beak Street pop locking style, you know what I'm saying? And we won the battle, and then they named me Zodiac, and I had that name ever since. And then I got the Fishgrease from, because it's a couple of people that whenever I shot a video, I would run to their house and show them. That was Jam Master Jay, that was Big Daddy Kane, and that was and of course my brother Michael Bivens. Right. And you know, I used to always go to Kane's house when he lived out here in Queens, and show him my video, like, you know, early in the 90s when I first started directing, and I would, you know, show him the video. And one day Kane said, your video is as hot as fish grease. And I was like, hot as fish grease? Yeah. And I was like, damn, that sounds crazy. You know, and then I said, Zodiac, this shit, fish grease. Then I said, nah, take this shit out. I just call yourself Zodiac Fishgrease. So Kane gave me that idea, and you know, I love Kane as a brother, and I really appreciate that. And ever since then, I've been Zodiac Fishgrease. You know, and then Mike showed it up to Fish, and I got a whole my New Edition family. They all call me Fish for short, and man, I just feel blessed and honored to, you know, have these type of brothers in my life, you know, including you, Mike.
Oh man, salute. Come on, man. You know how it is with me. So, like you were saying, when you used to shoot your videos, you used to take it to certain people to see first. Let the people know some of the projects that you are a part of, man, that they might be familiar.
Well, of course, I worked with Onyx. I've worked with Lost Boys. I worked with LL with your documentary and on Lost Boy Project. And I worked with Foxy. I've shot documentaries for New Edition. I did Trick Daddy and Trina. I worked with Rick Ross. I worked with Plies. I worked with a lot of people. I feel funny naming all of the people because it sounds like I'm bragging, and I'm not. And I'm not really that type of person. I've worked with Kane and, just various artists that I feel blessed to work with. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like shout out to Jam Master J, R.I.P. He's another one. When he had his studio over here on Jamaica Avenue, he was another one that, whenever I shot a video, because Jay would give it to me straight, just like Mike Biv. Like if I shot a video, I'd be all excited, and I'd be like, yo, I gotta go see Jam Master Jay. And I'd be like, yo, Jay, I go to the studio, yo, Jay. I'm talking about, this is when I first started out as a director, probably like 96, 97. I did my first video in like 95, but, shout out to Onyx. One of the very first videos I ever did, Fredro Star, Sun C, Sticky Fingers, Big DS, you know what I'm saying? Brothers, we all grew up together, Cheeks, and all of us, you, Lotto, all of us grew up together. But, Jay was one of the first ones that, in the 90s, I would shoot a video because I knew Jay would give it to me straight. Like, he reminded me of my father in a lot of ways. My father was the type of person, you remember my pop.
Absolutely.
God bless the dead. Yeah. My father would give it to you straight, and Jay was like that. Right. I'll put on the video, it could be something I just shot. Either Jay was it wasn't no in between. Jay would be like, man, this shit is whack, man. You need to go back and you need to edit that shit over, so. Yeah. Nah, like that shit is whack. All he would be like, yo, this is dope, man. Yo, man, you coming along, man. You coming along. That's what's up. And then after I show him the video, we'd smoke some. We'd roll up some we smoke. We pour some Henny, and we'd sit up playing video games all night. Shout out to Jam Master J. He the reason why I got my first Dreamcast, because we used to be in that studio and Jay used to be busting my ass in 2K football. And then around 99, I was in Florida doing Trick Daddy with a now nigga. And I had some downtime and I was in the mall in Florida. And I said, you know what? I seen the Dreamcast. I bought my first Dreamcast 1999 or 98, one of them years in Florida. I didn't tell Jay. I start practicing. Then I showed up at Jay's studio like, what's up? Yo, throw the game on. You know what I'm saying? I'll bust Jay's ass. Next thing you know, Jay switched up on me to Madden and started busting my ass all over again. But shout out to Jay, man. And I was honored, and I had the pleasure of Michael Bivins is like a brother to me, Man, we got so much history together, and I was blessed to go on tour with them a few times, and I've shot 2 documentaries with them, and shot a lot of concert footage, and toured around the country with them, and most of all, Mike is like a brother to me. His firstborn is my godchild, and man, he's been very supportive of me, and very supportive of my career, and most of all, very supportive of me as a human being. I could call him, when I need to talk, when if I got a lot on my mind. We built this brotherly bond, over 20 years, man. And I just feel blessed and honored to have, such people in my life, man. You know what I'm saying? And I was just blessed to really get into this production. That's a very long story, but God bless the dead. Bismarck got a lot to do with it. That's the reason why I even got into music videos, because when I was young, 1983, 1984, around the same time, Bismarck used to come to my house almost every day, and I met him through a brother named Tyrell Newell. Excuse me, I'm not the best interviewer, but I met him through a brother named Tyrell Newell, and Biz used to come to my house before he got on with the Juice Crew, and we was just young back then. He was older than me. I probably was about 13, 14. Biz was probably about 18, 19, and he used to come to my house and chill every day, and we had got real tight, and we had got a bond going. And then the day that Bismarck, got down with the Juice Crew, he had came to my crib and told me that he had met Marley Marl, and he was going to do Queensbridge Day. I never forget that because I was on punishment. You know, I had to go to summer school. Shout out to Kango. It was Kango from UTFO. He was having a block party in Brooklyn. This was like 1984, somewhere around there. Between 4 and 5, somewhere around there. But I was on punishment. I had to go to summer school, so I couldn't go to the block party in Brooklyn. And my mother was like, my mother was on vacation. My father was like, nope, your mama said you can't go. You in summer school. You messed up in school. So I had to tell Biz I couldn't go with him to Kango's block party. So Biz told me he was going to Queensbridge Day.
Right. Oh.
So he went to Queensbridge Day, and then, you know, hey, the rest was history. He told me he was going to be on the radio that night. And this is before he did the Meow 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 with Roxanne Shante. I want to say he did the beatbox live on the radio that night, and MC Sham was rhyming. I want to say Sham was rhyming live, and the rest was history. He came to Diabolical Biz. Shout out to a great brother, and rest in peace, Bismarck. But how I got into production through that is when Biz first blew up. I hadn't seen him for a few years because, man, he started doing his thing, man. He was everywhere. He was Bismarck. And one day, you know, back in the days, you know, I used to hustle a lot back in the 80s. I'm not proud of it, but it's over 30 years ago. I was one of those cats that sold a lot of crack and was in the street wilding out, you know. But I thank God and having a great family that pulled me out of it. You know, and then me meeting Ralph McDaniels and the big kid Lionel C. Martin, it pulled me out of it. You know, like I used to go to this place on Queens Boulevard called Lost Battalion Hall. Then my man Antoine, you know, one of my childhood friends, used to see me on the block selling crack, and he used to be like, man, what are you doing, man? Yo, that's not you, man. Yo, man, come with me over here. I'm going to Lost Battalion Hall. You know, it's like one of those places for, you know, kids and teenagers to go after school, boxing, basketball, whatever, you know. And then there was a bulletin on the board for a Bismarck video. So I hadn't seen Biz in, you know, a few years because he really started blowing up. Like he blew up now at that time. So I'm like, oh, shit, got my mom's permission. My mother gave me permission to go to the video set. And I got to the video, and it was that video. It's the Bismarck is going off. The Bismarck is going off. Going off. That was the first video shoot I ever been on, and I went to Biz video shooting, you know, and I met Lionel C. Martin. I met Ralph McDaniels. I met Cheryl Questel. At the time, she was Cheryl McLeod. My brother from another mother, Tuffy, his sister. And I met everybody, and I seen the cameras, and I seen the lights, and I got infatuated ever since, man. I fell in love with it, and you know, and at first I used to be a video guy, meaning like I was like an extra in everybody's video back then. Public Enemy, Rob Ace, Cool G Rap. I'm a young dude, and I was just jumping in a lot of videos, and I went from that to being an intern, from an intern becoming a production assistant, from a production assistant. You know, I just was hooked. I wanted to. That's why I met Hype Williams and all of them. We was all young back then, and then you know, and I wanted to learn about the lighting and the grips and electricians and you know, and I kind of started drifting further away from wanting to be on the block and sell drugs and hustle, and more into a little spider web, and more. You can edit that out, and more into. Hold up. You can edit that out. So I got more in tune with just wanting to be on music video sets and wanting to be around that, and less, you know, wanting to hustle and sell crack and be on the block and hanging out all night and niggas shooting and wilding in the 80s, and I started spending more time around people like Ralph McDaniels and Lionel Martin and you know, trying to, you know, just get into that world, and they started taking us around the country, and I'm talking about we young, like 16, 17, 18 years old, and they taking us to Philly, taking us to Jersey, taking us to DC, taking us all over, and that's how I got into that. And I went from PAing, like I said, gripping electric work, and then, you know, I did a little bit of ADing, and to one day I just started, you know, I just decided I wanted to follow in Ralph and Lionel footsteps because I seen Hype doing it. And I was like, just looking at Hype, just mesmerized, like, wow, look at Hype. And I wanted to be just like Hype. And then I just started directing, and the rest was history, you know?
That's what it is. So Zodiac, man, let the people know your social media tags and let them know how they can reach out to you, bro.
At Z Fishgrease. At Z Fishgrease. You could just hit me on my Instagram. At Z Fishgrease. At ZFISHGREASE. At Z Fishgrease. And you know what I'm saying? Me and this brother, we got so much history. It's so much deeper than rapping and videos and music and editing and cameras, and it's a family thing with us, man. You know, we got so much history, man. And I'm honored to know this brother. And you look good, man. You look good, man. You look good, man.
I'm trying to be like you. I'm getting tagged over here.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know, you look good, brother. And we just, hey, man, we got to just keep on shining for the generations, the next generation up under us, the way that we had the generation before us to help us out.
That's right.
You know, and now a lot of them missing the essence. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So now we just got to focus and concentrate on a generation that's coming up under us, and we got to help guide them and give them knowledge so that they could take it to the whole next level. Hopefully in 10 years, they be shooting videos on the moon. Talking about, damn, remember when people used to shoot videos on Earth?
Yeah, no doubt.
Nah, you know what I'm saying? But I'm joking, but no, but in a way I'm not. Like, I want to see it go to the next level with technology and with the future. And Mike, before we go, you gotta just bust one freestyle for me, man.
Oh, God.
Come on. You can't come back to the hood, you know. And you got to kick something for us, Mike. Come on.
Yo, this guy always puts me on the spot, man.
The video I did for Mike is one of the dopest videos that I done shot. Yo, I love that video.
Hip-hop ain't the same, man. Elements of hip-hop.
I watched that to this day, bro. We had a great shoot. We had a great time doing it. And not to mention that, your Making of a Legend documentary that I was blessed to direct, you know, with LL and Granddaddy IU, and you, of course, is your documentary, Daddy-O and MC Lotto, and, you know, and Main Source. And, man, that was a dope project, man. That was a real dope project. And you schooled a lot of people that don't know you. Like, the people that don't know you and don't know your history, this man is a big dog.
They don't get it, though.
He's a big dog. If you don't know, do your research on Mikey D. Do your research on what happened at the New Music Seminar with Melly Mel. Do your research on him and LL's great relationship, or how he named LL, or helped LL, gave LL the name LL. LL talks about it in his own book. You know, Mikey D is one of the dopest MCs to ever come out of Queens. And if you don't know, do your research on Mikey D. But nobody wanted to fuck with this nigga on the mic, on battling. The whole 80s, he was eating niggas up and spitting them out when cats would come from New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Massachusetts. They would come from all over to watch this dude battle. One of my first friends I ever seen on Soul Train. You know how that is to wake up on a Saturday morning and you look on Soul Train and you see your homeboy on Soul Train? You know how that is?
Word.
You know, so... And man, it's just a blessing, brother. It's a blessing. So with that being said, kick that freestyle, and I might join in and kick one with you.
Yo, I thought he was going to forget about the freestyle because he went into a whole nother story, but because it's Zodiac Fishgrease, I'm going to have to do, I dropped some more.